Moving on, let's talk about the Met. So the Met Gala happened, I believe Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I don't know. But you know, the biggest fashion event of the year happened, and I truly don't care about the fits for real. I always care about things in the context of what I'm trying to do on this channel, and there was a lot of conversations when it comes to influencers being a part of the Met Gala. Okay, so for those who don't know, over recent years, influencers have been at the Met Gala, right? Addison Rae, Charlie D'Amelio, Emma Chamberlain has, been at the Met a lot. I think she was there this year as well. But specifically this year, there was some pushback because a specific content creator, specific influencer, did not make it. And for those who are trying to figure out who that is, it is the one and only Wisdom K. Y'all might not know Ball. I don't know if y'all do. But Wisdom K, let me tell you right now, Wisdom K is one of those people that really has pushed the boundary in terms of what a TikToker can be. Because we all associate TikTok with just, mindless content, low quality content, quick content. If you watch Wisdom K's videos, they are the exact opposite. They are, bro, there's not a lot of content being made of that high quality on the internet. Let's just say that. But headline, let's just read the headline. The internet is upset over fashion influencer Wisdom K not being invited to the 2025 Met Gala. So I might be asking, why is there some outrage? Let's go ahead and read this right here. This is popular TikTok fashion influencer and model Wisdom K. You've probably seen him on your timeline showcasing unbelievable costume changes based on pop culture. Last year, Wisdom brought his fan-favorite fashion sense to the Met Gala, where he wore Robert 1. Wisdom perfectly exemplified the theme in a rose-inspired red suit. Fire. That's fire. Last year's exhibit was Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion, and the theme was the Garden of Time. So based on his internet popularity and attendance last year, it's no surprise that everyone expected him to attend the Met Gala this year, primarily because of this year's theme. For those who don't know this year's theme, this year's Met Gala exhibit is super fine tailoring black style, and the theme is Tailored for You. It's based on Monica L. Miller's 2009 book, Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity. It would make sense for Wisdom to attend again. Well, he's not, and fans are upset because it seemed like there's clear brand alignment here, right? Last month, Wisdom posted a TikTok video addressing all the questions on whether or not he's attending the Met Gala. I don't know if I'm going to the Met Gala, he said. I know I went last year, but guys, you have to understand the only reason I went last year was because TikTok literally bought a table. I was sitting next to Jack Harlow, Chao Shu, and Chao Shu, Shou Chu, excuse me, Jesus Christ, the CEO of this app. That's the only reason I went there, because they bought a table. On May 4th, Wisdom confirmed that he would not be attending the Met Gala with an X post writing, "I was not invited to the Met. I know you guys want to see me there, so just letting y'all know. Looking forward to seeing all the beautiful interpretations of Black dandyism tomorrow." The fans did not take the news well, and many took to the internet to express their frustration. You not being invited to the Met Gala despite the theme being super fine tailoring black style is truly shocking and just outright disrespectful. You're quite literally the modern day embodiment of this theme and have worked 10 times harder than the majority of the people that were invited to make a name for yourself in the fashion world. And a Wintour needs to do better. So a lot of very opinionated topics, opinionated statements in this regard. And there's also just a general sentiment of influencers not being invited to the Met Gala because apparently it's tainting the pureness of this event. So this was a short made yesterday. Let's go ahead and watch it.
People just noticed that there were no influencers this year at the Met Gala. And after what happened inside the Met Gala last year, we now know why. Because over the past few years, we've seen a bunch of influencers such as James Charles, Addison Rae, Kim Kardashian, and Charli D'Amelio. Meanwhile, this year fashion influencer Wisdom K was not invited, even though people said that he is perfect for the theme. However, after what happened last year, it's basically confirmed that influencers will no longer be able to attend. And the reason why is much more worse than you would think. Allegedly, a lot of celebrities are not happy that talentless influencers are taking other spots and they cause too much drama. For example, during the Met Gala last year, Hailey Bailey going super viral for her Let Them Eat Cake video. And a lot of people are saying that that is the reason why celebrities like Billie Eilish and Ariana Grande did not show up this year. And even more proof of the Met Gala not liking influencers, Emma Chamberlain doesn't even get to do the live stream interviews anymore. Megan Thee Stallion will now be banned for life after she brought her phone into the Met Gala, posted a bunch of videos. However, after what Kai Cenat saw at the Met Gala party this year, he said that celebrities are super boring and that he would never go back, and Met Gala tickets cost $75,000. Should influencers be allowed at the Met Gala? People just noticed that there were
So that was from this year, but this has also been an ongoing conversation, right? As you can see right here, there's a decent amount of videos on it. There's another one that I wanted to watch specifically. Hold on, I think this was last year.
Did you notice how there was almost no influencers at the Met Gala this year? Normally, we're used to seeing at least half of the guests be TikTokers and YouTubers, but basically every single news publication is saying that the days of influencers attending these events are over. Allegedly, multiple A-list celebrities were complaining about influencers being at this event, and were saying things like they're devaluing the Met Gala and they don't want to see them there. So apparently a bunch of these unnamed celebrities were threatening to not go if influencers were there. And because the Met Gala cares so much about its reputation and having famous people there, they decided to totally ban every single influencer with the exception of Emma Chamberlain. Because Emma is literally the only YouTuber that has solidified herself as an A-list celebrity, she will be the only one who continues to get an invitation to the Met Gala. Did you notice how there was...
So... it sounds like they hating, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Chad, it sounds like they hating, man. Listen. What I'm getting for this is the old guard not getting with the times. I'm being so serious. This idea that influencers and A-list celebrities are two things that can never be the same thing. Right? And I don't know who's pushing for this. I don't know if it's the people organizing the Met itself, or if it's the celebrities like a Billie Eilish or Ariana Grande pushing for this, which I find it crazy if Billie Eilish is pushing for this, given who her friend group is. Because I believe her friend group includes Quinn Blackwell, and she's been open about being friends with Kai before. Crazy. But this is very outdated. This is a very outdated viewpoint, in my opinion. Now, I will say this. Not every influencer that has 10 million followers is immediately an A-list celebrity. I'll definitely give them that. But this idea of just, this is an event where no influencers can be a part of because influencers are inherently not A-list celebrities, that is an outdated mindset. I think there's a couple of influencers that are truly big enough and mainstream enough to be allowed at a Met Gala, and motherfuckers should not look sideways at all. Right? I think Emma Chamberlain is one of them. I think Kai Cenat is one of them. I think Mr. Beast is one of them. I think, Logan Paul is one of them. Right? There's not a lot. Let me say that there is not a lot. But I think even maybe I'm too internet pilled. James Charles probably wouldn't be in that conversation, especially now. But yeah, there definitely should be an exception for certain influencers and content creators, and them just trying to shun influencers out of this is kind of fucking crazy. I would agree. I'll say this. I would agree with them if they was just letting everyone, you know what I'm saying, join the Met. If it's like Coachella out there, then y'all got a case. Because I don't know if y'all know about Coachella culture. Boy, if you an influencer with the right, with the right company, you will just get tickets to Coachella just cause. Like, yeah, if the Met is looking like Coachella out there, definitely get it. But this is definitely giving elitist. This is giving gatekeeping to the highest order. I think the talent conversation too is interesting, right? Let me say this. Being talented, especially in 2025, is not an inherent trait of a celebrity. Way too many Nepo babies running around, way too many non-talented people getting fame, like true fame, for that to be the case. So then it just becomes a conversation of pure motion. How much motion do you have? And a lot of these influencers, I'm gonna just keep it a stack, have worked. I'll put that word out there. Have worked their way to having more motion than a lot of motherfuckers at the Met. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Now, is Wisdom K specifically, the person who I mentioned at the beginning of this video, one of them? That I think is an interesting conversation. That I think is an interesting conversation. From my understanding of Wisdom's platform, I do not think he is big enough and mainstream enough to be in that Kai Cenat, Logan Paul tier creator. And maybe he is, and I just don't know ball. Maybe he is, and I just don't know ball. I don't think he's in that tier. However, I think he makes up for it with being so much into fashion and making fashion, high-end fashion specifically, so much a part of his brand that it aligns way too much to not invite this dude specifically to the Met. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like in the NBA world, like it's a no-brainer to invite Kenny Beecham to an NBA event specifically because of the pull that he has within the NBA community. And then you look elsewhere at the people who are adjacent to the NBA but not really about the NBA, and then invite them. But Kenny specifically, he should be one of the first people. If we're looking at influencers, he should be one of the first people we're tapping into because he's so aligned with the brand of the NBA. So same thing with the Met. Because of what the Met is, Wisdom K should be at the top of that fucking list. Right? Emma Chamberlain off of Precedence should be at the top of that fucking list. And then we'll look at a Kai Cenat. And then we'll look at a Mr. Beast. Right? But I don't know. It just seemed very elitist. Very, very elitist. It did seem like the after party was not as gatekeepy as the actual Met itself. As it should, I guess. God damn, if y'all gatekeeping the after party, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I don't know. This is just, man, y'all hating, man. Y'all hating on these new guys. Y'all hating on these new guys.